This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
For your information, we continue our series on Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Find out about an event that remembers victims of domestic violence next. Thank you for joining us, everyone. This is FYI News 13. I'm Ken Kara, and we begin with headlines. Hazleton police are investigating an armed robbery. It happened around 10 p.m. last night in the area of 9th and James Streets. The victim told police that he was approached by two black males. One pointed a handgun at him and demanded his property. The first suspect is described as a black male about 5 feet 5 inches tall with a thin build, black bushy hair, wearing a white t-shirt. The second suspect is described as a black male about 6'1", thin build, wearing a dark-colored hooded sweatshirt. Anyone with information is asked to contact Hazleton Police. City Police responded to 650 East Broad Street, the parking lot of Kentucky Fried Chicken, for a reported hit and run involving a pedestrian. It happened yesterday around 2:45 p.m. Police soon learned that an unknown elderly white male was discovered stealing from a storage unit at the Broad Street self-storage. While attempting to flee in a white van, the suspect struck the gate to the self-storage and a pedestrian in the area, causing serious injury. The van fled east on Route 93. The victim was flown to Lehigh Valley Hospital Cedar Crest due to the severity of his injuries. Police ask anyone with information to call them immediately or dial 911. Hazleton Police also responded to the area of South Poplar and Arthur Gardner Highway around 4:30 yesterday for a report of an accident. When they arrived on the scene, they determined that an accident had not occurred. Instead, they arrested Harry Billets for driving under the influence and had him transported to Lehigh Valley Hospital, Hazleton, for treatment. A female passenger was also taken to the hospital for treatment. This Thursday is the annual event called Empty Place at the Table at the Luzerne County Courthouse. The purpose is to remember those who lost their lives to domestic violence in Luzerne County. Lisa Sugart has more.
As we've been telling you, the month of October is designated as Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and a special program will be taking place at the Luzerne County Courthouse to deal with that subject matter. Here to tell us about it today is Tammy Rogers. She is the Outreach Supervisor for the Domestic Violence Service Center. Tammy, a pleasure to have you back with us again.
Oh, thank you so much, Lisa. It's a pleasure to be here.
Now, a very special event. I know it's held every year at the Luzerne County Courthouse Rotunda. It's taking place on October 23rd at noon. Tell us about this program.
The Empty Place at the Table is basically set up as a representation of victims who died as a result of domestic violence. Each year, we end up adding another place setting to our table. Right at this time, we have a count of 25 people that are on our table. Each place setting is given to us by the family, whether they have purchased the things themselves or their actual items themselves, and they represent that person as to how they lived their life and the things that they loved, and just their representation. On our table, we have, like I said before, we have 25. There is one special place setting that is for the unnamed victims. It's those victims that we know about and that we don't know about that died as a result of domestic violence. And unfortunately, this is something that, it seems like we add, another place setting every year. One of the things that we do like people to remember, that not only is it a representation, but a lot of times we look at this as a celebration of the lives that they lived. One of our guest speakers is going to be Stephanie Salavantis, who is the district attorney for the Luzerne County. And also we are going to be presented with a proclamation from the county councilman as to it being Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
Now, who would you like to see come to this? This is open to the public, correct?
Definitely. We'd like to see anybody and everybody there. Anybody that has, maybe they've got a family member or a friend that's going through a domestic violence situation. If they have children, it's highly possible that their child could be, a victim of dating violence when they're in high school. Nobody is immune to this situation, and it has no boundaries. And we just want to make sure that everybody knows that, there is help out there for somebody that might be going through a domestic violence situation.
And you gave me a startling statistic before. How often is someone affected by this?
A domestic violence incident happens every 9 seconds in the United States.
That's horrifying.
Unfortunately, it's true. We've done statistics with law enforcement as well, and when they're called out, it's usually it's estimated at 24 phone calls a day concerning domestic violence. That's just for domestic violence. So you figure that's one an hour. We as an agency receive an average of 450 hotline calls a month. That's not like people calling and wanting to set up, like, say, a speaking engagement or whatever for their community group. And we also provide services to over 400 adults a month.
Well, we want people to come out to this special event on October 23rd at noon at the Luzerne County Courthouse Rotunda, and we also want people to know that if they are experiencing a problem or feel that they are a victim, what is the number for the hotline?
They can call our 1-800 phone number. It's 1-800-424-5600.
Tammy, very important advice. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope you have a good turnout on the 23rd.
Thank you, Lisa. Now let's get back to some of our headlines. A familiar downtown Hazleton eatery is back in business. The popular Dragonfly Cafe has reopened its doors. Owner Peg Bono said that she and her staff have been looking forward to it for the past few months. The restaurant has undergone some kitchen renovations and now boasts a new menu and new staff. She said they have been prepping and training for weeks. Bono also says that she tried to open quietly to get back into the groove, but the word spread fast. She was pleased to welcome back old customers as well as new faces, and she says that she is thankful for the great response. The Dragonfly Cafe is now open Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. until 3 p.m. and Saturdays from 8 a.m. until 2 p.m. And in other news, in a place where they are usually relying heavily on their sense of sight, students at Holy Family Academy in Hazleton learned what it's like to be visually impaired or blind. Community Services for Sight, based in the city of Hazleton, along with the Pennsylvania Bureau of Blindness and Visual Services, set up activities for the students in the gym at the school.
And what we're doing is teaching kids the importance of learning how people with disabilities get around in their community and how they get through life every day. So we're teaching them how to use different senses. They're using their nose to identify different scents, and they're having an opportunity to work with the white cane as well as participating with a retired guide dog. And then they're doing some activities with Braille as well. So it's just a fun day to raise more awareness and teach the kids, again, just what it's like to be a little different than they are right now.
This event comes after last week's National White Cane Day that raises awareness for the white cane law that requires motorists to yield to pedestrians with white or red and white canes that are visually impaired or blind. Now, today is also Friends Helping Friends Day at Boscov's at the Laurel Mall, and that is to help raise funds for Community Services for Sight. Well, spend your Tuesday night learning about some positive things going on in your community. Tonight at 9:30 p.m. on SSPTV, an all-new community NEPA debuts. Janine Mazurkevich has the story of Brandon's Forever Home, a nonprofit started by a local family that raises awareness for adoption and foster care. The show will also be posted online tonight at SSPTV.com and on SSPTV's social media pages. This episode will re-air on Wednesday at 11 p.m. and Thursday at 12 p.m. And finally, congratulations go out to Annie Bertola of Hazleton. She won the 4-pack of tickets to see Carrie the Musical at the Pennsylvania Theater of Performing Arts. Performances are this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If you would like to attend, you can call the box office at 570-454-5451 or visit ptpashows.org. Coming up next on FYI, Dave Seaman, the sports editor from the Standard Speaker, is here a day early to talk about the 75th anniversary of the dedication of Harmon-Geist Stadium in Hazleton. And a little later, we'll show you what happened in a thrilling Wyoming Valley Conference girls volleyball matchup between Hazleton area and Nanticoke.
This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
Thanks for joining us here on Care for Kids. On Tuesday, we focus on foster and adoption, and today we're focusing specifically on the agency of Catholic Social Services. Neil Alberto is no stranger to the greater Hazleton area and to Catholic Social Services. So thanks for joining us on the program.
Thank you so much for this opportunity and for everything you're doing to promote permanency for children. It's wonderful.
So tell everyone you're celebrating your 75th anniversary, and sometimes people don't really know what Catholic Social Services is all about.
We've been in the community for 75 years, originally Catholic Charities up on Broad Street, and then, several moves. And when we were first formed in the community, it was to focus on the material needs. It was at the height of the Great Depression, so food, clothing, shelter. But the difference, I think, for us was in working with families, how could we help you to help yourself? And right from the very beginning, there was the emphasis in working with kids, and if we're going back to some of the original records. So from those very humble beginnings to now, where we're at, we served close to 6,000 families last year through 11 different programs, with foster care and adoption being one of those programs.
With your experience and looking at the foster and adoption program over the years, what has changed?
Oh my gosh, there have been so many changes. Much more openness now within foster care and adoption. And I think if we think of the one thing that's remained consistent is always trying to find that sense of permanency for a child through adoption particularly, but through foster care as well.
Okay, so over the next coming weeks, we're going to specifically talk about the services that you offer for foster and adoption care through Catholic Social Services. But if you'd like any more information, you can certainly contact Catholic Social Services, correct?
Please do, yes. We'd be more than willing to sit down and talk with you. We have orientations every month, and workers would meet with individuals, or families individually as well, to talk about different options.
All right, so join us every Tuesday here on FYI. It's Care for Kids.
Time now for FYI News 13 weather.
It's that time of the day when we talk about the weather. Let's see what's going on locally with our local forecast from the National Weather Service. A gray day out there today. Tonight, showers are expected, 60% chance. It will be cloudy, the low 45 degrees. On Wednesday, another 60% chance of showers on our extended forecast. The high will be 52 degrees. Expect the showers between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. Wednesday night, 40% chance of showers. The low will be 40 degrees. On Thursday, 50% chance of showers in the area. 49 is the high. Thursday night we'll get down to 44 degrees. Still a chance of showers in the area. Clears up for Friday, rain-wise at least, but it will be cloudy. The high will be 53. On Friday night we'll get down to 41, but it seems dry for the high school football games. On Saturday, mostly sunny with a high near 59 if you're heading out to Penn State to tailgate for the Ohio State game. Saturday night for the game, mostly clear. The low will be 42 degrees. It's a very special Dave Day on the Sportscast. Dave Seaman, the sports editor from the Standard Speaker, is with us. And Dave, I say that because I couldn't wait to talk to you. On Tuesday, you guys did a great job at the Standard Speaker, the sports staff, celebrating 75 years, 75th anniversary of the dedication of Harmon Geist Memorial Stadium here in Hazleton. And great articles. Ron Marchetti had a good article in there. I thought it was interesting. You spoke with Jim Drumhiller, the father, and then the son, Matt Drumhiller, both quarterbacks for Hazleton High School and then Hazleton Area High School. And one of my favorite moments, or one of my favorite parts of this whole thing, was in Ron Marchetti's article. He said in 1945, Hazleton had experimental transparent helmets and 3D numbers on their, I believe it was on the uniforms. So Oregon, they thought they were ahead of the game, but Hazleton was doing it way back in the day. Dave, what were some of your thoughts from all of the stories that were shared and maybe some of your Harmon Geist memories?
That there are a lot of memories at Harmon Geist, and the history of the stadium, it's each individual has their own recollection of what makes the stadium so special. And whether you played football or you ran track or you graduated from there, there's always there's a story there. A lot of people went to games. It was a social place to be for so many years, and it continues to be. On Friday night, last Friday night, there are a lot of people at the game, and a lot of people maybe not watching the game per se or watching the band, but it's still a place to meet. Maybe you met your boyfriend there, you met a girlfriend there. It was just the place to be, and I have a lot of memories growing up going to games and watching the games. My older brother played, and I do remember him running back an interception in his very first junior high game for a touchdown, and the whole family couldn't believe it was him, and we were so excited. It's definitely one of my favorite memories. Going to another year in junior high school, and we used to have school track meets there. Every school had their own track meet, and you were running at Harmon Geist Stadium, and maybe I didn't appreciate the history at the time, but you got to be part of that. And then I got to play junior high football and high school football on the field, and it's just a special place to be if you're an athlete or anybody from the Hazleton area.
I remember my Uncle Joe used to take me up in the press box and I would watch games, early Cougar games. I remember Tunkhannock game they won. I was so excited, and I remember thinking, where is this Tunkhannock in New York? I never heard of it. It was like this mythical place. So a lot of great memories at Harmon Guy Stadium. And to check out all of the stories, you have to pick up the Standard Speaker from Tuesday. Find it somehow, some of them hopefully online.
They should be online. All those stories should be online, and it took a lot of work doing that, but I give Ron Marchetti a lot of credit. He's the one. He had the story idea a few months back. He said, make sure you save the date, October 21st, the dedication day. I have a story for you. So he gave me the idea to enhance that idea, to ask players who might have played, and we obviously can't pick everybody from any era, but just pick random people in the area who I know might have been playing in the game, and they were generous enough with their time and their talents to give us their memories, and I think people will enjoy it.
I had a date at Harmon Guy Stadium once. That story not in the Standard Speaker, but there's 3 pages worth of great sports memories in the Standard Speaker on Tuesday. Check that out. Here's your midday winning lottery numbers for Tuesday on the green screen. The daily number 970, the big 4 3387, Quinto 30350, Treasure Hunt 6, 7, 24, 27, and 30. We have volleyball highlights after this break.
This is FYI News 13 Sports.
The district playoffs are coming up for the Hazleton area Lady Cougar volleyball team, and they have a pretty sweet seat. They'll face Wyoming Valley West next week. Now, last night was a good regular season test to get them ready for the postseason. The Big HA came into their game against Nanticoke 12-3, and the Trojanettes were 11-3. Nanticoke got the win 3-1, but there's so much more to this story. Moments after a hard-fought loss to Nanticoke, just the Lady Cougars' 4th loss of the season, head coach Greg Seacek was looking at the positives.
I don't like saying it, but this is probably exactly what we needed. We needed a good, great match. Constant pushes, constant hits. We were able to start blocking. I felt like we were watching boys out there with the strength of the hits. It was a truly amazing match. I wish we pulled it off on it, but I'll take this right now. We're locked into the number 2 seed against Valley West. We'll see them next Monday at Del Val. In the first set, Olivia Roberts tied things up at 16 for Hazleton area right here, but Nanticoke eventually took control. This is senior Celeste Deslich, and she's coming up aces. Set 1 goes to Nanticoke 25-22. In the second set, the Big HA jumped out early. Roberts hits a pair of aces, giving the Lady Cougars a 10-5 lead. She kills it here as Hazleton area got the win 25-18. The third set was pivotal. Julia Rudenko pulled Hazleton area within 2 here very early. Once again, the teams found themselves knotted at 16, but Nanticoke's Deanna Thomas gave her team the lead. This one went back and forth, but eventually Nanticoke took the set 27-25. The third set, when we were down, I believe, a 7 or 8, and all they needed was 1 point, that's what volleyball's all about. They pulled together as a team. They didn't let anything get in the way. Now the third set, yeah, it sucked that we lost, I'm not going to lie, but it's one of those, it proves to us and in the girls' heads that we're able to come back from a huge deficit. And I'm hoping next time, if that happens, we pull through. Nanticoke went on to win the fourth set 25-18 to take the match. On senior night in Nanticoke, both teams' seniors shined. We're very senior-heavy teams. All 7 of the girls that played tonight, all seniors. All of them are getting looks by all different colleges, DU3 to Luzerne County to D2 schools all across Pennsylvania, New York, Jersey. Any of those colleges is going to be lucky if they get them. I'll tell you what, each one of them has heart. I've loved coaching them the past 2 years. Liv took over the game for us. Our setter, Sam Ayers, this was probably her best game overall. And you could see it was a setter battle back and forth. Nanticoke setter, probably one of the most phenomenal setters and best hands I've ever seen. So I'm glad our girls stepped up. Just wish it came the other way. Those seniors will be honored this Thursday when Hazleton area hosts Tunkhannock in their regular season finale. After that, it's off to districts.
We have another volleyball score for you on the FYI Standard Speaker scoreboard. The Lady Preppers beat Hanover area. Emily Bagansky had 15 assists and 15 service points for MMI. The Hazelton area water polo teams were at Mechanicsburg over the weekend. The Lady Cougars beat the hosts but lost to Erie McDowell and Fairview. The boys were swept in Mechanicsburg. Before we end the sportscast, I want to tell you about this event at the Sanctuary on Wyoming Street in Hazelton. It's a pro wrestling event this Sunday and it's featuring the Xer guys. I checked out a video on them. They're pretty cool. Tickets are $5 and if you wear pink, $1 from your ticket will be donated in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. There will be 8 matches this Sunday at the Sanctuary. You could get tickets at the door or go to ebay.com and search the Sanctuary Tickets Pro Wrestling. That's sports for tonight. FYI, we'll be right back. Happy Wing Night! It's Wing Night at Bottlenecks. Get $2 off your order of wings or all-you-can-eat wings and boneless wings for only $14.95. Bottlenecks wings are voted best wings in the area year after year.
Good evening, everyone, and here's tonight's Talk of the Town report. First tonight, in honor of Domestic Violence Awareness Month, Stephanie Salavantis will be the guest at Domestic Violence Service Center's annual Empty Place at the Table event. This is a memorial to victims who have lost their lives to domestic violence. They held Thursday, October 23rd at noon in the rotunda of the county courthouse. More info, call 1-800-424-5600. Our next announcement, the Mock Chunk Opera House will be holding a special Frank Sinatra tribute featuring an 8-piece orchestra on October 25th. Tickets are available by calling 570-325-4009 or by checking out mcohjt.com. And finally, the Tamako Community Arts Center will be holding a murder mystery Italian dinner show called Death by Dessert, October 24th and 25th at 7, and a special motorcycle ride and lunch show October 25th at 2. The ride will begin at 10 a.m. from the Pocono Mountain Leather Company. For information about any of these shows, call 570-668-1192. That's tonight's Talk of the Town. News 13 would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. Dorothy Powell Antera of Hazel Township. Arrangements will be announced by the Joseph A. Moran Funeral Home. Raymond Cheskowski Sr., formerly of Miners Mills. No local services were announced. Dorothy E. Johnson of Hazelton. Funeral is Wednesday at 9:30 a.m. from the Frank J. Bonin Funeral Home. Friends may call Tuesday from 6 to 9 p.m. Leon T. Karras, formerly of Hazelton. Funeral is Thursday at 10 a.m. from the Hillary J. Bonin Funeral Home. Friends may call Thursday from 9 to 10 a.m. And Matthew Morton, formerly of Moria. Graveside services will be held Wednesday at 11 a.m. in the Colonel Ledyard Cemetery in Groton, Connecticut. Attention pay-per-view subscribers, if you see your name right now on News 13, you'll have 13 minutes to call in and win a free movie from Service Electric Cablevision. Our winner tonight is Henry Zavada of Hazelton. Henry, if you're watching, give us a call right now, 570-455-7267, extension 104.
The World Series starts tonight. I'm excited for the games, but I'm also excited because Big Papi, David Ortiz, will be part of the broadcast team for the first 2 games when Big Papi talks. Listen, enjoy your evening, whether it includes the World Series or not. We'll see you tomorrow. Take it easy, everyone.